Hello dear readers and subscribers. In the commercial art world, one of the most important entities, especially for artists and for collectors, are of course art galleries. However, these art galleries come in different types and forms. So, what are the different types of art galleries? Which ones are the best for artists and actually also for collectors, and how to recognize them? A more general definition of the art gallery is an exhibition space to display and sell artworks. As a result, the art gallery is a commercial enterprise working with a portfolio of artists, acting as the dealer, representing, supporting and distributing the works by the artists in question. However, this definition is not applicable to all types of galleries, even though they present themselves as the same. We start with the most common type of art gallery, or the most important type of art gallery, which is the commercial art gallery. The term commercial might have a negative connotation, as if they're all in it for the money, that they wouldn't care about their artists or the art because they are commercially oriented. However, these are actually the best art galleries. With commercial art galleries, the gallery collaborates with several artists, agreeing to represent them and to support them. This means that the gallery commits to showcasing, promoting, selling and distributing the artworks of the artists in question, and by doing so, the artist can make a living. In return, the gallery earns a commission with the sales of the artworks. So what is good for the gallery will be good for the artist. If there is a sale, both the gallery and the artist make money. The artist can buy new materials, earn a living, and the gallery can first get out of the cost, because it is very expensive to run an art gallery, and also start to make a profit when selling enough. So the gallery is very motivated to do well for the artist, and if the artist does well, so does the gallery. Therefore, it is also important for these types of galleries to think in the long term for the careers of their artists, and that's why they represent them, taking care of more than just exhibiting their work and selling a few pieces. They want to grow the career of the artist, grow the demand for the artist, and this long-term approach for the artist will also result in long-term success for the gallery. When they outgrow the traditional definition of a commercial art gallery, we refer to them as mega galleries. Some examples, for instance, are David Werner, Gagosian, Pace, Hauser and Wirth, White Cube, Tadeusz Robak, and so on. These galleries are highly influential with multiple locations across the globe, an impressive number of employees and square meters of exhibition space. So these galleries actually start to become institutions, and they also start to do different things than just representing the artist. They also provide a space for critical discussions, for instance, organizing talks, but also having their own publishing house and much more. The third type presents itself as a commercial art gallery, but in fact they are not. These are the vanity art galleries, and from the outside, for an artist, it might look like a real legit gallery. However, their business model is not based on selling the works of the artist. In fact, it is based on the size of the wallet of the artist and not of the collector. Vanity art galleries charge the artists to exhibit and promote their work with the gallery. As a result, I would not call them art galleries, as they do not have a curated gallery program. As a result, these galleries rarely have an excellent reputation in the art world, nor do they have good clientele or a solid collectors base, because they do not select artists based on the quality of the artworks, but the size of their wallets. Most often, these galleries also actively scout for artists who are willing to pay via email marketing, and they praise the artist, propose an exhibition. This all sounds very exciting, and then they ask a participation fee. This is most often very bad news. In fact, it is better to organize your own exhibition, a private exhibition, than working with these vanity art galleries. This brings us to the next type of gallery: exhibition spaces. And these aren't actually art galleries, but simply spaces for rent. Yes, a gallery can be any space to exhibit art, but it does not have a gallery program, and therefore I prefer to call them exhibition spaces and not galleries. Although they often have the name of Gallery X or Gallery Y or Gallery Z. However, if you can rent the space, it is an exhibition space for rent and not an art gallery. However, these spaces are great to organize your own private exhibitions, to gain some experience when the exhibitions from art galleries are not coming just yet. And if you do, make sure to consult our resource on how to organize an exhibition successfully. When it comes to artists organizing their own shows, this brings us to the fifth category when it comes to art galleries: artist-run galleries. In the past few decades, we have seen multiple success stories of artist-run galleries. Think of Galeria Plan B, initiated by Mihai Pop and Adrian Geni. And in this case, a collective of artists starts an exhibition space, a gallery, independently. So it works in the same way as a commercial art gallery. However, the artists are curating it. They create their own platform. It's very courageous to do, and sometimes it can be a bit frowned upon. However, if you do this the proper way, if you do it in the same manner, in the same style and the same quality of the commercial art galleries, these can be a big hit, these artist-run galleries. And if so, they most often gradually transform into the typical successful commercial art gallery. We could also conclude with a potential sixth gallery type, which is the online art galleries. Not to be confused with the online art marketplaces, such as Saatchi or Fine Art America. However, there are some art galleries who do not have an exhibition space, but using the format of the viewing room, which is a format that predominantly emerged during COVID-19 because the galleries were not able to organize physical exhibitions, so they started to develop this viewing room format. And this results in galleries with a curated gallery program, which is online only, viewing room only. So how can you identify those art galleries? So in short, if you have to pay, it is not a commercial art gallery or a mega art gallery, but there are other key indicators to identify a good art gallery. One, for instance, is if they have a curated gallery program with a set of represented artists. If they do not have their own represented artists, then they're not investing in the careers of artists. Then they're just artists coming and going, and they are trying to sell, but not really supporting those artists. Another key indicator is that galleries will have a new show every 4 weeks, and others at a bit slower pace, up to 3 months even. If there is no curated exhibition program, this is also an indicator that this is not a serious art gallery. For instance, there are some more boutique galleries that also sell art, but it's simply artworks coming and going, and not there's no exhibition concept. So there is no real focus on the content of the art, but more the decorative properties of the artworks. Another key indicator is how the exhibitions are being presented. Is there a checklist present in the exhibition space? Is there an exhibition title? Is there an interesting press release? Are the works installed in an engaging manner, for instance, in an experimental manner, or a very minimal way for an ideal viewing experience? Or is it a crowded space with the works being hung on strings instead of nails on the wall, with a lot more visual stimuli, for instance, labels on the walls? All these things are not really done in the high-end art world, and are indicators, therefore, to distinguish the serious art gallery from a lesser established art gallery. Another key indicator to really identify the serious players is if they participate in international art fairs. It is very difficult to enter these art fairs because there is a very strict application process and also some hefty fees. So it also indicates that you must be lucrative in some way if you can afford this. But also the committees of these art fairs are also very strict when it comes to the quality of artists being exhibited. So if they participate in art fairs, international art fairs, then this is a very good and serious art gallery. The same could be said of Artsy, which is also very strict in which galleries they accept as partners, but not as much as with the art fairs. So these are the main types of art galleries and the main ways to identify them. And before working with art galleries, make sure that you know what you can expect. Make sure that you know the best practices, but also the typical agreement a gallery and an artist has, so that they are not taking advantage of you, or to see that they are going about their business in the proper way. For more information about these agreements, these best practices, definitely consider consulting our complete article, and feel free to have a look at our templates, our contract templates, if you would like to have a contract, or if you would like to have a clear overview of all the best practices and agreements, to have them perhaps in writing in your email correspondence before working with that gallery, so that you are sure that you're doing things the right way. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Feel free to watch our video on 4 common pricing mistakes and how to fix them that can prevent artists from selling their work. Next, support us on Patreon, and please consider subscribing to stay posted for more contemporary art. Bye.